March 12th, 2018. I was quoted in National Geographic. Carole Baskin, founder of Florida-based Big Cat Rescue, the largest accredited big cat sanctuary in the U.S., thinks so too. It's such an egregious crime against nature to be trafficking these animals, she says. When law enforcement actually stumbles upon it and they find something in violation of the Endangered Species Act, for God's sake, give them a penalty that will make others think twice about doing it. I hear Lucifer in the other room. I'm going to try to do another one here. April 6, 2018. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm pretty good at recognizing a pattern. It's just been so busy that I haven't been able to write. Yesterday, I spent the entire morning with JessAnn from Group 9 and Beth from the Dodo to let them capture slo-mo footage of our cats to promote Samsung's new phone camera. Group 9 is the company that pays us for ad revenue share on our YouTube channel, and the Dodo and El Dodo have been working with us every week to provide 2 live shows for them. Chaiklin and Eric Goode returned with a crew on Tuesday, that was April 3rd, 2018, to get pickup shots, they said, at the direction of CNN. When they were here before, they've been filming this thing for 4 years, they wanted me to trash talk Joe Schriebvogel, but I told them that I wouldn't stroke his ego by even saying his name. They came back this week saying that they just needed to film me filling in a few gaps in their script and to do some overview shots of the sanctuary. They spent the entire day asking about Don, Jamie's father, my relationship with Don's kids, my family, and just kept trying in about a dozen different ways to get me to say that all the lies the backyard breeders and dealers tell about me is hurting my feelings. It doesn't. I couldn't be any more clear about the fact that I am not defined by anything anyone says about me. They were so hell-bent on getting me to say it that I'll be interested to see how they edit the footage to get what they want. Interested, but not concerned. No matter how they portray me, if the documentary airs, it will only be good for the sanctuary. Any press is good press. I told Rebecca that I can't imagine why CNN would have any interest in the tabloid trash questions they were asking. Meanwhile, it's spring break, and a dozen of our people went to India with Jamie to film tigers in the wild at Ranthambore and Sariska. That was March 17 through March 27th. That left us short-handed while we were dealing with more guests than ever before. I hired Moishka Myers to help with the Facebook ads for BigCatRescue.biz about 6 weeks ago, and her success has meant that I have to create more ads and deal with more sales and sales-related issues. I interviewed Andrew Swearingen from Mercado about handling the ads and listings for our Amazon store, but he wants $7,200 a month to do it, plus an ad budget of $3,000 per month. Those kind of numbers made me spend days really diving into what's happening there financially, and it's barely break even. Here is the letter I sent him. Dear Andrew, after putting a pencil to this based on my current margins, I'd have to generate more than $30,000 a month in sales, and maybe a lot more like $145,000 a month in sales, because the stats I used from Managed by Stats don't calculate my actual cost of goods in order to maintain the same mediocre profits. Given that I'm currently only generating about $4,500 per month via Amazon sales, I just don't think the products we offer have a high enough demand outside of our loyal fan base to make this work. If I were selling even $30,000 a month, it would require staffing to ship out 6 times as many products as we currently do, and that would mean having to hire more people, which eats further into the profits. Volunteers are great for doing cat-related things, but they don't want to be in retail. I'm sure you could grow our business, but I just don't think we could handle the kind of growth it would take for this to make it worth all of the time, money, and manpower when there is lower hanging fruit. Our biggest driving factor to getting people to choose us for Smile is via our social media posts, mostly live videos, where I tell people about it and how to do it. And here's an ad break. Go to smile.amazon.com and choose Big Cat Rescue. It's a lot easier than it used to be back in 2018. I don't think ads would have as much effect on our warm audience, and probably very little effect on those who don't know us yet. I do really appreciate the time you spent, and it was valuable to me to know that outsourcing will be much more costly than makes sense for us currently. If you are ever in Tampa, I'd love to introduce you to the cats. For now, I will just keep plowing forward as best I can, and we'll revisit the idea of hiring you when we are more confident of our ability to make the most of it. So, Jamie said Brittany Mira came back from India wanting to make a difference with their life for the big cats. I sent her this. I wonder if you would be interested in trying to grow an online sales channel for the sanctuary in exchange for some sort of commission. I don't know if your job is full-time or if you have hours at night to try and build up our Amazon store. And this is no longer a thing, but back then it was bigcatrescue.org/Amazon store. I believe this could be a huge revenue generator for us without being a huge drain on our staff and volunteers if I can figure out what sells and then ship 100 or so at a time to Amazon for them to do the fulfillment. I've spent the last year learning everything I can about selling on Amazon through their Seller Central University free online videos and through podcasts and Facebook groups. I've just now gotten the store to break even where it's selling about $5,000 a month. I think it could be far more profitable, but I'm torn in so many different directions. It's hard for me to focus enough time and energy on it to really make the most of the opportunity. There are other aspects of Amazon too that I think could generate income and make use of your photography skills. bigcatrescue.org/shirt takes you to our t-shirts that are fulfilled by Amazon. All we have to do is upload designs that people will buy and give them names and descriptions that will make them show up when people search. Photos could work, especially if you have any Photoshop skills, to add our text or to make the edges look, well, edgy. I also run a for-profit store at catrescue.biz, not anymore, where I donate all of the profits to our legislative work. There is a whole section there where people can buy and download images of our cats in different sizes, but the selection is very old, and I just don't have time for making the 3-sized images and then uploading them and adding all of the stuff to the listing that makes it searchable and thus saleable. I can't pay you a set wage to take on these responsibilities, but if they are something you think you'd love to do, then we could talk about some sort of a commission basis that might make it feasible for all of us. It wouldn't be enough to live on for a while, maybe not even for a year or two, but I think it could grow into something substantial. If you're enjoying my diary, please like, share, and subscribe. You can find other ways to connect to me over at bigcatrescue.org/Carole.Baskin.